Yesterday afternoon, it seems days ago now, I drove down to the east end of London, the East India Docks Road, Commercial Road, through Silvertown, down to the mouth of the Thames estuary. It was a quiet and almost pleasant trip through those streets running between rows of working-class houses, with the cranes, the docks, the ships, and the oil tanks off on the right. We crossed the river and drove up on a little plateau which gave us a view from the mouth of the Thames to London. And then an air raid siren, called Weeping Willie by the men who tend it, began its uneven scream. Down in the coast, the white puff balls of anti-aircraft fire began to appear against the steel blue sky. The first flight of German bombers were coming up the river to start the 12-hour attack against London. They were high and not very numerous. The Hurricanes and Spitfires were already in the air, climbing for altitude above the nearby airdrome. The fight moved inland and out of sight. Things were relatively quiet for about half an hour. Then the British fighters returned. And 5 minutes later, the German bombers flying in V formation began pouring in. The anti-aircraft fire was good. Sometimes it seemed to burst right on the nose of the leading machines, but still they came on. On the airdrome, ground crews swarmed over those British fighters, fitting ammunition belts and pouring in gasoline. As soon as one fighter was ready, it took the air, and there was no waiting for flight leaders or formations. The Germans were already coming back, down the river, heading for France. Up toward London, we could see billows of smoke fanning out above the river. And over our heads, those British fighters climbing almost straight up, trying to intercept the bombers before they got away. It went on for over 2 hours. And then, the all clear. We went down to a nearby pub for dinner. Children were already organizing the hunt for bits of shrapnel. Under some bushes beside the road, there was a baker's cart. 2 boys, still sobbing, were trying to get a quivering bay mare back between the shafts. The lady who ran the pub told us that these raids were bad for the chickens, the dogs, and the horses. A toothless old man of nearly 70 came in and asked for a pint of mild and bitter. Confided that he'd always, all his life, gone to bed at 8 o'clock, and found now that 3 pints of beer made him drowsy-like, so he could sleep through any air raid. Before 8, the siren sounded again. We went back to a haystack near the airdrome. The fires up the river had turned the moon blood red. The smoke had drifted down till it formed a canopy over the Thames. The guns were working all around us, the burst looking like fireflies in a southern summer night. The Germans were sending in 2 or 3 planes at a time, sometimes only one, in relays. They would pass overhead. The guns and lights would follow them. And in about 5 minutes, we could hear the hollow grunt of the bomb. Huge pear-shaped bursts of flames would rise up into the smoke and disappear. The world was upside down. Vincent Sheehan lay on one side of me and cursed in 5 languages. When there was a pause in the firing, he'd talk about the war in Spain. Ben Robertson of PM lay on the other side and kept saying over and over in that slow South Carolina drawl, "London is burning. London is burning."